say it, but
I was gonna say, how about your $500 million man over in Kansas City?
that's awesome. 10 years.
We'll be somebody's eating crow in one of these squares. Does anybody want to guess who's eating crow? Anybody? Anybody? Who was the guy that said, "No, he won't make over $35 million a year"? Yeah, I'm sorry. He blew everybody out of the fucking water with this one.
What's
mean,
it, 50? Is that 50?
You know, if there's one I want to be wrong on, it's for my own team.
It's that, yeah. He got, it's up to $503 million.
Right, I'm shocked. It's not
over the length of it.
Right,
it's
not all
$477
guaranteed,
million.
but a lot of it is.
But there's a $140 million freaking injury guarantee in there. I mean, there's this is such a broad contract. There's so much shit that goes in.
No wonder it took so long. Why are we talking about this before the show? I mean, we're recording, so we're good. But obviously, we've been away too long, and you guys just can't help yourselves. You like to just blow your whole wad right out of the gate, especially Joe. He's like,
well,
100%.
Hey, it's my team. Are you shitting me? I mean, if it was fucking golf, if it was a Dolphins,
save it for the fucking show, man.
That's
we got a show to do here.
But we're gonna do the show anyway. We can't have a pre-conversation before we start.
But I hate rehashing good stuff. This is such good content. You just don't understand, Joe. It's great content. What's going to happen is this is just going to get played. We're just going to play
this content on the other side of Evan introducing us in, and
we'll just let it go. This is great. Do we want to do a legit intro and get this party started, or do we have anything else to talk about?
We might as well just do a legit intro, right? Just jump
Evan,
Just jump on in.
Fucking hear it.
Let's do a legit intro. This is the intro. Welcome to the Pigskin Pricks. This is the first show we recorded.
Earthquake. Either that or I'm tapping my laptop. One of the two.
Yeah, I'm
or
guessing
it's Kyle Allen.
It was actually Kyle.
That would be my guess.
We were that close, and then he stopped. Damn it.
Well,
nice.
Come on, Kyle. But yeah, welcome into the Pigskin Pricks. So the same group of guys as always. And before we jump into the earthquake, ground-shattering news of the NFL world, let's talk about beers. What are the beer menus? What's going on? What's happening?
Man, I'll tell you what. I was at the store the other day, and I didn't really have an earth-shattering beer that I was going to bring to the table. I just was kind of looking around, and I saw these big-ass 25-ounce beers, 2 for $4. And so I said, you know what, I got to try it. John will get a real big kick out of this. So I bought something called Natty Daddy Lemonade. All right? This bitch is big. All right? Now, I have not tasted it. I've opened it, but I have not tasted it because I wanted to do that.
Look at that bitch. That's an 8% alcohol beer. That is awesome.
8% right here.
So that is not a Natter Days. Let's not confuse it because Natter Days is like 4 point something, very low.
Right. This is a Natty Daddy Lemonade.
Right. I've seen Natty Daddies before, but never a lemonade. So I'm excited, to be honest.
This one's for you boys.
Don't let me down, Joe.
Brand new here.
I know it's not your fault, but don't let me down.
Oh, yeah. So I really like that. Matter of fact, I like that better than Natter Days.
That's what I needed to understand.
And so you can definitely that's got a higher alcohol content.
You can tell.
Sure.
Yeah, he's like,
just taste it. Yeah. Well, I mean, you're talking a 4%
sweeter,
difference.
Thicker, richer.
I wouldn't say sweeter necessarily. It's probably on the same level.
So why do you say more alcohol then?
Natter Days, because you can taste more alcohol in it.
Because so the reason I say that is normally when they're higher alcohol content, they have a little sweeter flavor.
No, I don't.
But not in yours.
I don't know. No. I would say it's about the same as Natter Days. They're right in line with each other.
The flavor, cool.
But you
crisp, clean.
But you can taste very refreshing. But you can taste the higher content alcohol.
His tongue has already got a buzz. That's what he's trying to say.
I love it. I'm drinking 25 ounces of it, so this is going to be a fun show. So no, I would give that a 7.5.
Okay, great.
All right, pretty good.
For sure.
Pretty close to where I threw a Natter Day. So that's we're weirdly, strangely in line for once in our lives.
Yeah. Well, excuse me. I'm going to take another sip. It's going to take me the whole show just to drink.
Well, you do that. Well, so I hid it just in case I picked it up, but I decided not to open it. I was hiding this beer. but I'm going to pop it out. So this is one of those that I got in my mix pack that we talked about a couple episodes ago. For those that didn't get to listen to that episode yet, because we haven't recorded it or actually produced it and released it. My local liquor store had like a massive sale on a couple onesie twosie beers. This is one of them. So I don't even know I haven't drank it. It's Good People. I can see it on the back. Good People Brewing Company. I know something interesting on the top. Just as I was looking at it, I gotta hold it. You may not say
we can't.
You can't see it. It says legally brewed since 2008. So that makes me wonder, were they brewing it before and it wasn't legal?
Nice.
Right?
Prohibition days.
One of those things that you ask.
Yeah, but even so, it's going to have some flavor.
But it's a pale ale, so I'm really interested. I'm trying to figure out where Good People is located. Come on, guys. Where's your fucking address? Oh, here it is.
They're unknown.
Here it is.
China. I'll give it the whole thing.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Good People.
That's why it was on sale.
Yeah.
114 14th Street South, Birmingham, Alabama. 35233.
All right, roll tide.
Yeah.
Hey, they got like the whole thing going on. They didn't fuck around. So
let's see it. Let's hear it.
I was fucking with it too much.
Come on.
I got to spill.
Already foul.
You can't.
That's what I get for playing with my beer.
You give the guy 12 ounces.
If you play with anything too much, it does that. I mean,
explodes.
So, already so good. So we know it's a pale ale. I'm in love with pale ales. Even more than a little. It's a little foamy because somebody shook it up, got excited.
You got a real big head, John.
Happens.
I do.
Yeah.
Short.
Yeah.
Here, big head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, I'll pour the rest in a second. We'll get the tasting done.
Fandango.
So, it's not Boulevard Pale Ale. It's definitely different. It's not because I'm such a Boulevard. It's not as good. And it's my first time tasting it. It's
hard beating Boulevard, though.
It is. It's a little more bitter.
Yeah.
That's my first tasting opinion.
Okay.
But what I like about it, even though it's a little more bitter, and that's fine because it's not as what I mean by that. So what I like about pales over a standard IPA typically, I'm trying to clean up shit all over my desk, is pales are a little more citrusy, fruity flavored, not as bitter. This one's very crisp and clean, but it's more on the bitter side for a pale. So there's nothing wrong with it. Definitely on a good summer day, if you're hot and you don't want too much sweet, you just want to pound something. It's not too bitter. Trust me, it's not a heavy IPA or anything, but
he's
surprisingly bitter for a pale ale, but a nice beer. There's nothing wrong with it.
Where does it fall on your?
Oh, you want a fucking rating? You don't want me to drink and talk. You want to hear?
No.
Okay.
No.
So what did I give the Boulevard Pale Ale? Did I give it a 9.5? Did I give it a 10?
You gave it. You went way high on it.
I think I went a 9.5 or something. So I'm trying to put this in context.
You gave it a 10.
I don't think I'd give any beer a 10. I would have to do what this did.
Right.
To get a 10. I'm going to say it is a solid 8. It's a good beer.
Wow.
Solid 8?
Solid 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Never had it before in my life. Got a cool name, real simple design on the can with a little yellow pickup truck. Good people. I like everything about it. Yeah, it's an 8.
Okay. I'm taking 8. An 8's always a good
as long as
good
it's
rate.
my fault for all this head because damn.
Yeah, well.
We'll blame Kyle.
Yeah.
Please. Let's
all right, boys.
So,
what are you drinking?
Oh, you want to see what I'm drinking?
Yeah, always. Yes. What's new? Come on.
Yes.
Don't try to slack.
Have some tap water.
Yeah. All right.
Very, very refreshing. Very,
I think
thirst quenching.
I think we've decided that's for hydration, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
Hydration Nation over here.
You know, I don't think I've ever
right.
asked this before, Evan. Is it iced or just straight from the tap without?
Not just straight from the tap. I don't need no ice.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's actually proven that room temperature water hydrates you quicker than iced water because the water, once it enters your body, if it's ice, has to heat up to your body's temperature.
Yeah, that's fine. I like fucking.
I'm just trying to get ice. I'm just trying to get hydrated real quick.
I can't stand room temperature water. That is.
I can't say I'm room temperature or anything.
I'd rather drink hot pee. I mean, it's like, come on. Yeah, if you don't ice it,
but Joe, then the pee has to cool before it hydrates you.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're just fucked on both sides of the coin, there, aren't you?
Well, what can I say? I just enjoy my room temperature water all day, every day.
All I can say is it seems like this younger generation. Here I am being an old fart. What am I? I'm a what's the name for that? For those old
boomer?
People? Boomer.
You're not a boomer.
I'm not technically, but that's what they would call old people when they say shit like this. But
they call Gen X's right. We're like boomers.
The younger generation just likes warm shit. My son, a lot of his friends like warm. I think it's impatience more than anything. They just like it warm. They didn't want to wait for it to get cold.
Right.
They just grab the sodas, the beers, everything. They drink it fucking warm room.
I do that. Yeah, it's just
fucking
that
nasty.
we are the society of immediate gratification.
That's for
sure. Yeah,
100%.
Right, right. Yeah, and that's what you get. I mean, you get warm.
Our beers. I'm sure Joe would say the same. If we left them room temperature, we'd rate them about 3.4.
Oh yeah, horrible.
Okay,
maybe horrible.
Maybe like
fair enough.
Cold is half the score.
Right.
I mean,
the colder the better.
Fair. Oh, that's fair. All right. Well, I'll be expecting a warm beer on the show at some point for one of you. One of you has to rate at least one warm one.
We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
All right, Evan. Let's get this party started with your boy.
Started. Welcome to the Cam Newton experience of the New England Patriots.
I freaking love it.
The vet minimum to come and compete for the starting job. Who's Jarrett Stidham? I don't even know who that guy is. I'm just ready for Cam Newton, baby.
Now, really, Evan, do you think Cam's going to start, or do you think?
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about
it. This is great. I'm having so much fun with this now because you were such a Stidham guy. You're like,
well, that's the thing. I like Stidham.
Stidham's a man.
So I like the
great.
I liked the idea. If Belichick was confident with him, I'm confident with him. But now the fact that we have a former MVP quarterback on the roster. Do you expect me to not get excited? Just a little bit? Like, come on now. AFC East champions at the very least. I think we might have a deep playoff run in order if Cam Newton can stay on the field. There's a good chance we see Stidham this year anyways, but
John, you're absolutely foaming at the mouth. Like you're like this. You're like, I just can't wait to freaking attack.
No, but here's the thing.
I thought it was a great move. I think it makes sense. That I said that when we talked about it, and your guys were like, no, not happening. I'm like, but it makes sense. He's the right fit. I mean, even better than LASIK boy because I don't know because they hated LASIK boy. At least Cam's got had some success. I mean, that might be what you need as a guy with some success.
McDaniels always builds an offense around to fit the talents of his guys. So do you expect him to go in and not be able to gel in the offense? They're going to build it completely around what is his abilities, what is he best at. I don't think he's going to run as often as he used to because that's how he –
But he'll probably run more than Brady did.
Right.
Exactly. If he needs to. I don't think he's running on purpose. He's running if he needs to. Yeah.
So here's kind of my take on this. All right. I think it's New England as an organization got 3 wins in this deal. Okay. Number one, I still think Stidham is Belichick's guy.
Long term.
I'm not. Well, and even this year, I'm not sure that's the reason they signed Cam. Right? Because if that was the case, they would have signed him to more than 1 year, and they would have signed him a lot earlier, right? Belichick, he was going with Stidham regardless. He was just sitting there going, is anybody going to sign Cam? The thing is, he waited this long, and personally, guys, and you guys are going to attack the living shit out of me on this.
Just might.
This was a political move, guys. This was a move where Belichick and Robert Kraft did not – and I mean, I'm telling you, did not want to be forced to take Colin Kaepernick. And some NFL team is going to be forced to take him. I mean, they're putting pressure on all these teams, and by taking Cam Newton, that pressure is now gone. Right?
Taking Colin Kaepernick.
Okay. You get him on $1 million deal. If he doesn't start, there's no way he's making $7 million incentives because he won't be playing. So what does Bill have to lose? He comes in, he starts, he kicks ass. They pay him the $7 million. They may sign him to a longer-term deal. Stidham beats him out in camp. Who gives a shit? You got a pretty damn good quarterback as your backup for $1 million.
Yeah.
So it's a complete win-win for the New England Patriots, the organization. Now, what you were saying about Josh McDaniels, I don't typically agree with that because he's had Tom Brady for the last 20 years. How do you know
11 wins with Matt Castle? 11 wins with Matt Castle.
But Matt Castle is Tom Brady.
That's not an accurate statement. He
Tell
went
me.
to Denver. So
He did right, John, and he failed.
And Tim Tebow took him to the playoffs.
He failed. Yeah, right. And he's don't even get me started on Tim Tebow. I love Tim Tebow.
He's not
Actually, I'm a huge fan.
Right. He's not the first coach to think they were better than they were and went out on their own and learned that they weren't all that. And it's not that he's even that bad of a coach. It's tough. You can't go to a team and just kick ass typically right out of the gate. So
Tom Brady made McDaniels good.
I mean, it was fucking Denver. They suck.
Didn't make Tom Brady good.
I don't know. They won.
Okay.
Well, look at how well they played without Tom Brady.
McDaniels
I mean, it's a small sample size.
They would
small sample size.
Patriots would have not brought McDaniels back if he wasn't special.
I'm not saying he's not a bad. I think he's a great offensive coordinator when Tom Brady is his quarterback. But we don't really know. You bring up Matt Castle, but where did they go? They didn't go anywhere. Yeah, he went 11-5, but then they bailed out in the playoffs. He hasn't won without Tom Brady. So the question is, can he build an offense around Cam? And you're right, John, Cam's going to run. All right, Cam's not going to stay in the pocket as much as Tom Brady did because he doesn't really need to, right? Could he beat Stidham out? Yeah, it's probable that he'll beat Stidham out just because he's got that veteran leadership. But I'm not sure that the injury's gone. And I really think that Belichick is a Stidham guy. And if it's close, you might see Stidham as your starter. And everybody's going to call me crazy. You, Evan, the Patriots fan, said there's no way. There's no way. You're like, yeah, he's not going to start.
I mean, if it was a normal offseason, I would say that there's no chance. But maybe because a lot of it is going to be virtual. Maybe they're not going to have regular training camp. They cut down the number of preseason games down to 2.
Oh, sure. Go use that already. Damn you.
Well,
it'll actually be 0.
I was saving that for the Thunder, right? It's not official. But anyway, let's stay on this topic.
I was going to say, so there is certainly the chance that because of the weird offseason that Stidham takes the starting job. But if you're looking at talent, Stidham is a second year, former 4th round pick who's unknown versus a former league MVP who hasn't fallen off that much. He's just been getting injured. That's really what I think the thing is with Cam. He's just getting injured.
Was a late round pick.
Tom Brady was a late round pick.
What a shocker. Thanks for pointing that out.
But Cam Newton was the first overall pick. So I think there's just a big talent discrepancy. Maybe there isn't because we haven't seen Stidham play.
We're going to find out. Yeah.
We're going to find out. I just think Cam is I would say the odds, I'd say 90 to 95% chance Cam start. Like
he's obviously the front runner.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, obviously. John, do you think he's the front runner? Or
yes. So I'm not going to tear you apart because I think you made some very, very valid points. I actually liked what you had to say. But the only thing I think you're wrong about is I think Stidham's not the guy this year. I totally agree that this was the greatest deal for fucking the Patriots. When I saw that he was signed and then I saw the details, I'm like, oh, they just got him for free, basically.
Yeah.
What a fucking deal. And they totally played that right. I'm not going to argue. And Cam, what was shocking to me, and I think all of us, was Cam basically bowed down and took a shitty deal for a good team.
Yeah.
I think that was the right thing for Cam to do because he's in a great situation. What's the worst could happen? He sucks. Well, he wasn't on a fucking team. So while that would suck, at least you got the opportunity instead of sat on the sidelines. Mm-hmm. Most likely you're going to start, and I think that's the truth. I don't say that Stidham's not going to be the guy in the future.
Right.
Maybe he will.
How we sign veteran guys like this to help groom your younger guys. But again, the Patriots could pick up some other quarterback or draft somebody if Stidham's not the guy. So I'm not sold on Stidham at all. I'm just saying.
I think
we don't really know.
Cam is not the future. He's too old for the future, but he might be the next couple of years if he performs well. Yeah. And then I wanted to tease, if Cam's shoulder still sucks, well, they can definitely game plan for that because Brady couldn't throw down the field either. So it's the same kind of offense.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. That's some funny shit. Now, I will say, now Richard Sherman, did you guys hear his remarks? He came in and said
I did.
He was upset about it.
Yeah, he's like, it's disgusting what they did to Cam Newton. Now, Cam Newton has since fired back and said,
Cam didn't have to sign, so.
Well, Cam said, this isn't about money. This is about respect.
Yep.
I'm going into New England to prove myself. So he basically was saying, listen, Richard, I don't need you to come in and defend me. I'm going to go in and play for respect. And let me tell you something. If he goes in there and plays like that, he's going to play pissed off.
Yeah.
He's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he's got something to prove. So I really liked his response. And I'm not a Cam fan. I mean, you guys, we've talked about this. I'm not a fan of his, but I really liked the way he came back and said, no, I don't need you. I'll do it on respect, and I'll earn the money down the road. So if he comes out and plays lights out, he may say, screw you, New England, and jet the hell out of town.
Go somewhere else.
Which is what I expect him probably to do.
I don't think he would, but okay.
No?
I think there's a good possibility.
It depends. It depends on
but
what they paid him. Because, he is bitter about the money.
Yeah.
In the back of his mind.
If he gets paid more because it's such a short deal, if he does well, the Patriots will pay him enough to make him happy. I mean,
but there's teams that'll pay him a lot more.
What if he comes in and he gets back to his MVP form? Are the Patriots going to dish out top of the line starter money?
Tom Brady was MVP and he stayed. Right?
But he stayed for a hometown discount.
No, right, absolutely. But at some point, if I were the player, at some point, I mean, Cam, they said made $100 million. The guy's not broke. He's not like looking right. No. That's hopefully he didn't blow his wad on dogs or something, but at some point you're like, I want a legacy, and what better legacy than a number of wins, the kind of win that Tom Brady has. What do you talk about more, how much Tom Brady made or how many rings he has?
How many rings?
Right. At some point you're just like, I've made the money. I want to win. And I would say that's what brought a lot of good players to the Patriots was they didn't pick them up right out of the draft or early on in their careers. Those guys were proven. They wanted to go somewhere and fucking win. And they might not have stayed very long, but they got a ring and they were like, now I'm happy. Now I can retire or go somewhere else for more money or whatever I want to do. But I did it. And so, Cam might leave. I get it. But I think if he's successful, they don't win a ring this year because they're not winning a ring this year. He might stick around for a few years and see what he can pull off. Because I would if I were him.
They're a playoff team.
I might be thinking about now.
Right. They may be a playoff team, but they are not winning the division.
No, absolutely not.
They're not winning.
Let me ask. What are your guys' expectations for them this up year? So
I still think they're falling behind Buffalo. But
for
they're
the Patriots?
Second best.
For sure.
And now I think they have a playoff chance, when I didn't think they had a playoff chance at all. And I want to add one thing because I want to say it. Now I don't know who I want to root for more, Brady beating the Patriots or Cam beating Brady. I mean, honestly, I'm struggling. I might want the Patriots to beat Tom Brady.
I would love it.
Cam Newton. And I hate the fucking Patriots, but I'd love to see Cam Newton, who's not done it, beat Tom Brady.
I don't think they play each other this year.
I don't care. Either. I just want to see it happen at some point.
Yeah. Well, if the Patriots were to make it to the Super Bowl and so the Bucks, it would be in Tampa Bay. So.
They won't.
Yeah, and then I really want Cam Newton to win. As much as I would struggle. Yeah. Actually, I'd struggle because I do not want to see the Patriots win another one. I just want Cam to beat him in the regular season or play. Yeah.
Okay. Now, why do you guys think that the Patriots are not a deep playoff team? Because I think I think it's an uncertainty.
Because we're haters.
I think they're going to win the division. I think they're better than Buffalo.
Buffalo's got more. They've been together longer. I think they got
not Buffalo. No, the Patriots defense. The rest of the Patriots team.
Quarterback is so much of the team. I hate to say it, but
it's Josh Allen.
So this is what I'm going to throw out there. Okay. Now, before they signed Cam, I said not a playoff team.
Okay.
Now that they have Cam, I think they could make the playoffs. I think that Buffalo wins the division. They're just – Buffalo's defense is really good too, dude. And their offense is better than New England. So they're just a better team. And the reason I say I'm not sure they're going to make the playoffs, they've got a great shot. But, dude, Miami's going to be much improved. The Jets are going to be improved. Not much improved, but they're going to be improved. They could steal a win. And you know what? Because you don't have Tom Brady, a stolen win is big. That's big to get into those playoffs. Now, there are extra spots on both sides, so now that does help their chances. But I just think the competition has grown in their division to the point to where it's just not a cakewalk, man. It's not a cakewalk anymore, and I think you've got a new top dog. And with that top dog, you got Miami coming in and saying, you know what, we got a chip on our shoulder, we got an attitude, we got some new people. And if these guys come out and play to form early, I'd say watch the hell out. Because this division is going to be fun to watch, really fun, for the first time in a long time, unless you're a Patriots fan. But really, it's been boring.
I like the competition.
Well, yeah, right. And we do too. Like when the Raiders and Broncos are good, we like to see good games. Obviously, you want to see your team come out on top, but man, I'll tell you, it's going to be fun to see some parity in that division because it's for the last 20 years, it's just been the Patriots.
Which has been fine with me, but I understand.
But you're the only one. It hasn't been fine with anybody else.
Well, him and everybody else in fucking.
Well, right. I was counting them as one.
Northeast states in general. Yeah.
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say a last thought on Cam Newton. If he's healthy, if he's got a chip on his shoulder, watch out for the Patriots. Could be a sleeper.
You know what? We know he has a chip on his shoulder. So I think that's the one thing that could propel them into the playoffs.
Could be a sleeper.
And then can McDaniels utilize him in the way that he needs to utilize him?
Okay, let's go with an easy pick 'em. Does he start the first week?
Yes.
I'm going to go no.
Okay.
I'm going to go Stidham.
All right.
Sounds good. All right. Fair
I'm going to go Stidham. I do have a quick question. Do we want to cut this off and do another show about Mahomes real quick? Because if we go to Mahomes, it's going to be a longer than what we're used to.
I don't know how long we've been rolling.
Where are we at on time?
We just hit the past the 20-minute mark.
Yeah,
okay.
I think we got time for Mahomes. I don't think Mahomes actually has to take that long.
He won't. All right. Well, let's get him. Let's get it.
He's fucking the $500 million man. Anything else we need to say? Done.
That was pretty easy.
500 million. 500 big ones. Easy. Now here's the question.
Yeah.
Is he overpaid?
Oh, look at we
not
got
to
10
a Kansas City
left.
fan.
We got 10, we're no longer on our paid Zoom
session.
Oh
no.
For those
that gives us
those in the audience, if you want to start, like donating because,
Right. Thank you.
We'll go back to we were trying to keep them under 40 minutes. And by the way, that was a reminder. We got to keep it under 40 minutes.
Yes.
10 minutes.
No.
Yes. Was he overpaid? Hell no. Not for 10 years. If you said a 5-year deal for $500 million, I'd be like, I like Mahomes, but that's crazy money. This is still the biggest contract ever, but I don't think he's overpaid because he's proven he's awesome. Now, in 2 years, if he falls off for some weird reason, he starts smoking dope and pulling a, Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams.
I don't know, throws more picks than he does touchdowns. Then but based on his last few years, he's well paid.
I was reading a Kansas City football thread today, and one of the guys' remarks made me laugh out loud. And everybody was talking. Do you think he's worth his money? Do you think he's worth the money? And this guy comes on, and just randomly it said, "Bye-bye, Chris Jones." I mean, out of nowhere, it was just like. Okay, and everybody went back to Mahomes because nobody wants to talk about how this is going to affect.
Right. Well, that's why I asked the question.
All the other contracts, right?
So I've heard that they got this deal out of the way so they could move on to Chris.
Yes, and I heard the same thing, but it just made me because it was all Mahomes, and then just this little clip, this little blip was like, bye-bye, Chris Jones.
Here's the thing: Chris Jones is going to want to be one of the highest paid defensive players in the
NFL. But he's got to look at his contract and go, how can I do that? Because
he wants $20 million a year.
Yeah, he does.
And how can you afford to pay Mahomes $50 million a year and then Jones $20 million a year?
Well, you know what?
You can't. He's gone.
No, you can't because of the way the NFL made it so you have a cap, right? Mm-hmm. But one thing that I was going to say, and the Chiefs definitely will appreciate, is how much would you pay for a Super Bowl if you're any team, especially the Kansas City Chiefs, right? And how much would you pay for a second one in a row? Now, the Patriots are doing it. The one thing you got to give the Patriots is they figured out, much like some other low market football team or baseball teams, is how to be very cost effective. And the Chiefs I think don't give
Yeah.
a shit at the moment. They're like, we got the money. We just got paid a bunch of money last year because we won a Super Bowl. I mean, everybody likes our team.
Right.
We're going to make a bunch of money this year. Now we can only spend so much on our players per contract because of the cap, but we still got money and we're going to spend it because we want to keep winning.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Pete Prisco said today, he said, look, guys, he said it's not as bad of a contract as you think because every year the salary cap increases.
It goes up.
And it's based on that. And so don't think that Brett Veach didn't look at that and say, okay, we can afford this much and this is what the increase is going to be at least every season. So they looked into all that shit, man. They wanted to tie this guy up. They don't ever want him to play for another team.
They told all the other teams in the league.
He's done.
Yep.
And
off
so,
the table.
And one guy said, well, hey, Chris Jones, we don't win the Super Bowl without him. And it's like, that's right. He made the play. But then another guy came in and said, what's to say another guy wouldn't have made that play? And I would argue that Chris Jones is Aaron Donald-ish level, right?
He's on that caliber.
He's on that caliber. And so I don't know that play would have been made by another guy. So it is imperative that we have – you'll never know. That's it. And that's one of those things. But I would really like to see Chris Jones come back. I just don't know.
I don't think it's possible.
I think it's possible, but then what you would have to do is just completely scale back everything else.
And is that worth it?
Then that's the question. And I'm not sure. But people are saying, well, we don't need a defense with Mahomes. It's like bullshit.
You do.
Yeah, Trent Green proved that theory.
He absolutely did. And so you got to have a defense with the offense. It doesn't have to be the greatest defense. It doesn't have to be a New England defense. But it does have to be a good enough defense. Yeah.
Well, 100%. Like last year, it was much improved over the year before in that we could stop some of the passes. Yes. We didn't stop them all. We still gave up some big plays, right? And we weren't, but it was our D line actually scaled back, I would say, other than Chris Jones stayed around. And I'll even agree, he was underrated. He did a great job the year before. We're all like, hold it, fuck, who is this guy? Because we had two other great defensive linemen, and he was kicking ass thanks to also to those guys. He still had a good year last year. But they scaled back our defensive line and they augmented our backfield, right? Our defensive backs. And because running is part of the game, but so is passing, and you usually get a lot more yards with a pass than you do a run.
But they also added Frank Clark.
Right.
And that was a huge addition on the line. Move. But you lost Houston and Ford.
Right, that's what I mean. And those guys were both I really like Justin Houston.
Me too.
Bothered me the most.
Me too. Yeah, me too. And then he goes to Indianapolis, which makes it worse.
But same kind of problem, and they might do the same thing with Chris Jones. If he wants too much, they might let him go, just like those two other guys, and go, we're going to keep getting other guys.
I think they're going to have to, because the thing is, you had to pay Mahomes. Chris
just got to figure out if he wants to stay with a winning team, whether or not they win a Super Bowl. I'm going to say they're going to, but whether or not they do, again, they're goddamn bugs. They're a winning team, and so you got to decide, do you want to stay with him or not?
The thing is, though, he's got his ring. He may want to go get paid, 2, and he's earned it.
3, 4. How many rings you want? That's again.
Yeah, but
what do people?
We want
here's
7.
The question.
We
want really talk about long term. Come on, Chris Jones. Listen to this podcast for one moment, Chris.
When you
how many rings you want?
Every time there's been a quarterback that breaks the quarterback market record, whatever it is, for most money, how often do they go and win the Super Bowl afterwards? So I
probably
think
not.
That's
probably
a great
not
point.
Often. Probably
that's a great point.
I think we have to.
This might be the first time.
Well, I mean, I think it's possible. Mahomes is young; he's not even 25 yet.
I like where your head's at.
But at the same time, you have to be weary that what it does to the rest of the team.
Yes.
So Chris Jones,
they got most deals done except for the Chris Jones deal, and he's been franchise tagged.
Well,
so
here's
the
thing.
Sign.
He's going to get $16 million. He's going to get $16 million for playing this year. He's saying, I'm going to hold out. I truly believe. Now, he's been –
I think he will.
Here's a problem. I read something else today. He's been talking to Le'Veon Bell. And taking his advice. Well, Le'Veon held out. I mean, he sat out.
Le'Veon's a chump.
He's a chump, and
Chris,
it hurt his career.
Jets. Good luck.
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah. It's like, you know what? If you want to follow him, look how bad it hurt his career. He should have never play for the tag, earn your money, go get paid. It's as simple as that. But if he sits out, it is what it is. I mean, we can't. I'll tell you what, Spags and Reed aren't going to lose any sleep over that.
No, they're not.
If he decides to sit out, they'll be like, we'll get another guy in here right now.
Yeah.
So that's where that's going. So congratulations, Patrick. Raise your beers for H2O, if you will. Because
but
you're not a Chiefs fan. He deserves a toast. Right?
Yeah, he does.
Here, Pat.
The money man.
Well, we already hinted to the preseason, 2 games instead of 4. Likely, right, the NFL Players League already voted on going to 0 games.
They did.
We're all hoping there's a fucking season. That is my last comment I'm going to make is I'm shocked at some of the deals considering we don't really know if there's going to be a season yet for people to shell out a shit ton of guaranteed money on guys that may or may not ever play this year. Let's hope they do because I really want to watch some fucking football. Summer sucks anyway. I never watch football because there's nothing on, but I'm really looking forward to fall and some fucking football.
Football's
so,
coming.
done.
All right, last question. We got a minute and 30 seconds.
That's right.
Does the XFL come back this year?
God,
Yes.
I hope so.
I'm going to say bold
Some
statement.
form.
Okay.
Some form.
Someone else is going to have to buy it, but yes.
Some form
Yeah,
of
well, that's
other
absolutely
league.
right.
Yeah, right. That's it. Some form of some other league will play again, and I'll probably still not watch a single game. But I want to. I've said this.
You're
It was
missing
It was
out.
a good product. It was a good product.
You're missing out.
I bet. I wonder if I can YouTube them. That'd be cool.
It's on there.